Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to today's video. Today we'll be talking about Are Asian Men Socially Unaware and Are Asian Men Invisible Part 2. I've already made videos addressing this initially, so please take a look. I truly believe there's a personal accountability factor when it comes to Asian men being visible and socially unaware. I truly believe that some Asian men actively feed into the stereotypes and they complain and they bitch and moan about it, but they never do anything actionable about it. If you're put in a position where you need to stand up for yourself and people are actively discriminating against you, speak up. Be the example for the rest of us, and we have to break these chains. I truly believe that yes, Asian men are being looked down upon. We're overlooked when it comes to dating. Yes, we're actively discriminated against. So what? So these are the facts that we have to learn to navigate. But we can't just sit there and be like, the system is messed up, it'll never change. It's a very nihilistic point of view. Yes, the world will probably never change, and that's okay. But we have to give our best, and you have to see what you can control within your realm. Great people probably won't care. But I truly believe that some Asian men choose to be invisible. Some Asian men choose to be socially unaware. And they don't want to leave their comfort zone. Leaving your comfort zone when you're completely socially unaware because you never developed proper social skills due to your upbringing is an option. Realize that you can learn these skills at any time of your life. I think some Asians view every situation like a math equation. Okay? It's like they're almost like they have no awareness of the person. They don't realize there's a human factor of stuff. Not everything is 2 + 2 = 4, right? Life doesn't work like that. It's not linear. There's a human emotional element into it. And I think not having social awareness of this really sets you back. Because I truly believe that if you act like a robot, people won't treat you like a human being. I think these are skill sets that we need to develop. Realize the typical Asian stereotypes, there might be some truth into it. I see it all the time. When I go out, I realize some Asians only hang out with only Asians. They're afraid to venture out of the group. They're afraid to interact. They're afraid to speak up, right? It's almost like, guys, be confident, be virtuous, be courageous about your abilities. We can't just sit there and say, oh, the system's fucked, I'm going to keep going into it. I'm like, yeah, sure. I think realizing that, yes, I've talked about this before, Asian men are punished twice as hard when you do something that feeds into stereotypes. If you do something that's viewed as quirky and nerdy, yeah, you're probably not looked at the same way if someone else did it. I think if a white guy made those same mistakes, you probably would be like, okay, why is he fine? Why am I being punished for it? It's because we have a negative stereotype where it affects our masculinity. I think realize that. The nerdy, shy, quiet kid who's a STEM major that's Asian with glasses and is short, that is the existing stereotype. That's a prevalent thought. So I think realizing you have to fight these things. And not all Asians are like that. Yeah, that's true. But majority speaking, it doesn't really help us. I think what I would really recommend is stop choosing to be invisible. Start being seen. Start being heard. Start doing it in a humble way. I understand that, right? Start interacting with people of different races, SES. Become a part of the community. Get off the internet, okay, guys? Stop doing everything online. Venture out. I understand how hard it is. It's like we have these social bonds with people in the community and our parents. We have to speak out and learn to be a man. Learn to venture on your own. Get off the video games. I know so many Asian guys, what they do is they work their STEM job, and they text, they're always on fucking Discord, then they play video games all day, and then they bitch and moan about not meeting women and life's unfair. Dude, if you're happy doing that, so what? That's fine, you're happy. But this video is for the people who aren't content with their lives and doing things that actively harm them. If you feel lonely, you want a community, you want a girlfriend, you want to have friends, you have to change. Like, that's the most difficult part about this is you have to change. And I'm saying if you change, you will have a girlfriend, you'll have everything you want. No, I don't know. I can't guarantee you that. But you can increase the probability of changing your life because you're discontent. I think realizing that if you're discontent with your life, you need to do something. Clearly what you're doing in the past, these established habits and patterns and behaviors aren't helping you. So we got to break that cycle. I think the number one thing I always say is go to the gym, start taking care of yourself. View yourself as someone worth being loved. I think when you start working out, you get in touch with your body, okay? You can shape it, you can chisel it, you can strengthen it. I think strengthening your body, developing muscle is only going to strengthen your mentality. And also, I was going to say, that's going to lead to fashion. When you look good, take care of yourself, there is something magical about I want to be seen. You have to put in effort. I feel like the whole idea of like people should love me for who I am, fuck everyone else, is a very dangerous mentality. At the end of the day, we're all very superficial. We all are very superficial to some extent. Some people might be more, some people might be less. But the idea of like, yes, can you be loved if you wear sweats? Sure. But you shouldn't put yourself in that position 24/7. You shouldn't wear sweats on the first date because you'll be like, oh yeah, you have to love me for who I am no matter what, unconditional love. I'm like, no, dude, like if some girl did that to me on the first date, I'd be like, sure, you might be lovable, but this is kind of disrespectful. The fact that you're not going to put an effort into this situation. Yes, we have to put an effort and time in our social interactions, dates, and relationships. Realize that. It's putting your best foot forward. Anyone can show up to a date in sweats, but to get a well-fitted, tailored shirt, and nice jeans and nice shoes and being there, hair done, cleanly shaven, you increase your probability because now you are seen as attractive. You're literally viewing yourself as the prize. And I think that's the effort of unconditional love. We've been taught that no matter what, mommy and daddy will love us for who we are, but that's not the world we live in. And do I believe that your relationship can shift from being more conditional to more unconditional over time? Yes, truly. I'm not saying I have to perform and be my best at every single time. It's not like I have to wake up at 7 a.m. and wear a suit every day in order to be successful. There are some days, yes, I'm lounging on the couch with my fiance where I just woke up and I haven't showered yet and my hair is a mess. Yes, and she truly loves me still, but that's not majority of the time. That's the difference. Most of the time, I'm on my A game. I dress up, I show up, I work out, and I do my best because I feel like this life is worth living and I want what's best for me. And my fiance recognizes when I'm doing my best, she also benefits from this. But we can't feel like we're victims, guys. I think this victim mentality is quite dangerous. Yes, we might have been screwed. You might have been screwed in genetics and height or whatever. But this is your life and you got to make the best of it. Yes, if you feel like you'll never be able to get the 10 out of 10 model, fine. But you might be able to get someone close enough. And if that's important to you to get the 10 out of 10 model and that's what your life is determined upon, I feel like you need to get better values. That's a really shitty way of grading your life. Realize that there are great people out there. And yes, they are so hard to find. But choosing to be invisible is the victim mentality. Feeding in these stereotypes. We can't just sit here. If you're really sad and hate the way your life is going, you have to go and change it. But it all starts with you. You have to take care of yourself. Do the best. And I'm not saying, am I doing all this for women? No, you're doing it for yourself so you're not invisible. If you're tired of being visible, there's probably a reason why. Of course, if you don't never speak up, if you never interact with a new person at work, if you always just go to a room, go on your phone and be quiet, of course you're invisible. I don't want to talk to you because you're not putting any effort in. That's the number one thing. You have to view how other people actually look at you. Have empathy. See things from other people's perspective. If you go into a room and you go into the corner, sit in your phone and play video games on your mobile phone, and you say, wow, no one wants to talk to me. Everyone's being fake. Everyone's excluding me. I wouldn't want to talk to you. What am I seeing? What are they seeing? Oh, this guy's walking into the room instead of acknowledging our presence and trying to have a conversation. You're sitting in the corner on your fucking phone. Get off your phone. Stop using it as a crutch. Yes, look at me in the eyes. Look at people in their eyes and have conversations. If you don't know how to do it, learn to deal with it and realize it's going to be awkward in the beginning. But the fact is, if you're putting in effort, people will respect that. But you can't just realize you're going to put in zero effort and get the world. Okay? You have to look at people and develop social awareness. People want to be acknowledged and you got to put in work. If you don't know where to start, just start people watching. Put yourself in a public place. Get off the video games. Get off the internet. Go to a coffee shop, go to the park, go wherever, go to the museum, and just look and observe at social interactions. View it as a giant social experiment. View how people are dressing, view the way they're speaking, view how people interact with each other. People are in a big group. Why do people have friends like that? What do they have in common? Start looking and get as much data and observations and take it home and just think about it. If you want to think about this in a very linear fashion, do that. But you have to become normal. You have to become properly socialized. And the number one way to do that is find a community and participate. Find activities that include other people. Start doing things with teams. Get out of your comfort zone. Acknowledge every single person. Go and say hi. But you can't use your phone. You can't use the internet. You can't use your core group of Asian friends as crutches. Stop using your close-knit friends of people who are online and you hate your life. Stop using that as an excuse. Develop new friendships. You need to go and do that. If all your Asian friends are invisible and they don't have a backbone and they're quite feminine, there's probably a reason why you are like that. You're the average of your 5 friends. But if you're really happy just living that way, continually doing it, and then you can't use me as your source of approval. This video is for the people who have friends that are quite feminine, invisible. They don't work out. They don't do their best. They moan. They complain. They whine. Drop those friends. Find a better community. But I think I like to end this video on is a personal accountability factor. If you feel like the victim of your circumstance, realize that you're invisible, realize you're socially unaware, you don't have any friends, you don't have a girlfriend, it's probably because it's your fault. But because it's your fault, you can change that. If you want full freedom and responsibility of your life, you have to realize it all comes down to you. You have no one else to blame but yourself. Yes, if your parents isolated you from the world and you're socially behind, socially immature, yes, you might be able to blame someone, but you can go and change that. You can change it now and realize it might take them some time. And in 5 and 10 years, you'll be properly socialized and you'll be fine. Or you can learn in a year, but it's possible, but you have to go give yourself a shot. I would say surround yourself with very empowered individuals who push you to be better. Do things and activities that don't require the internet. Go old-fashioned. Have conversations. Instead of texting, call. Call to make plans. But we have to stop feeling like we're victims. If you feel invisible, realize there's probably a reason why. Do things that stand out and learn to stand up for yourself. And realize that invisibility sometimes is a defense mechanism. No one can bother you if you're invisible. But the fact that you're invisible means you don't exist. If you want to talk about this further, please email me at bedroomtalksconsult@gmail.com. It's in the description below. If you want to see what I'm up to, follow me on Instagram at m.deep20. As always, wish you the best. Namaste.